Shri Sanjay Desai sir, Chairman and Managing Director, Green Excel Private Limited India, to deliver keynote address.
Respected dignitaries on the dais and off the dais. First of all, I would like to thank organizers, especially Sister, Shri Nandakumarji, and also Shri Nijalingappa Sugar Institute, Shri Kandgave sir. So thank you very much for giving me this opportunity and honor. It's really a great honor to discuss about prospects of ethanol in front of great personalities and very knowledgeable backhouse today. So especially I'm also, another reason I'm very proud that this is the first presentation I'm making in my home state, Karnataka. So thank you very much for that also. So basically, since yesterday we started the IPL season with a very big match. So now my job is almost very easy because we had two opening batsmen, Shri Nandakumarji and Shri Kandgave sir, scoring all the sixes, fours, switch hits, reverse sweeps. So my job is very simple. So now I'm a number 3 batsman. So I need to nudge and edge here and there, try to take single or double runs, so that I can give strike to the next, finisher batsmen who will be coming. So basically, as both the gentlemen have already explained, what is the need for ethanol for India. One is, of course, global warming, climate change. All that has been talked at various levels, including United Nations, in India, in G20, everywhere. So that is one reason. In fact, in next 50 years down the line, we'll end up exhausting all the fossil fuels, more or less, worldwide. Then we'll left with only these renewable energy sources. Then also, because of the carbon emissions, so our temperature of the earth is going to go up. So that is also going to cause much more problems than what we are facing now. Yesterday I understand that in Kashipur there was some sort of a snowfall, and you have floods, you have forest fires going on in Goa recently. So all these are, whether people will like it or believe it or want to acknowledge it or not, but we all know today that global warming is actually happening. It is disturbing the environment all over the world. So mankind has a greater responsibility than just developing technologies and doing business or trying to earn money for us and our children. So much bigger responsibility is to really save the environment for the future, our own kids, our grandchildren. So with that responsibility, I think one should always come forward and try to adopt green living in our day-to-day and also in the business environment. That is what is required. So now, with all the effort of the central government, now ethanol has become top of the town. So if you go to any city or town, district or any industry, people will ask you about ethanol. What is this ethanol? So that is a great achievement by the government. Also the bodies like SISTA, Nijalingappa Institute. Like even while we are traveling from one city to another city, all the security guards, they will keep asking about ethanol to us. So that is a great achievement, because awareness is what was required in India. Because people would come and try to promote ethanol, then it is to go away, because awareness was not properly created among the masses. So then, as you all know, this ethanol is helping our country to reduce dependency on the oil. So once we have E20, that means 20% petrol can be, in terms of imported, it can be reduced. So 20 can also lead to much higher blend. So apart from saving, you can say, the foreign exchange in dollars and helping the farmers, it can also help farmers to double their income. So today, with grain policy, almost 60 to 70% of the farmers are being covered under ethanol, because sugarcane, grains, so we have 50 to 60% farmers all over India. So one more important thing is, pollution also is reduced, which everyone knows with ethanol blending. Then most importantly, what I have noticed, because I travel 20 days a month in pan-India basis. So unlike pharma industry or IT industry, See, this ethanol industry is going to the rural areas. Today, if you go to any almost out of 400 plus districts, you have ethanol factories being built in 300 districts. So it means what? It means basically rural economy is going to go up. And even like when I was during my childhood, I used to go to a small 6 sugar factory. That's how I got inspired and I became an engineer. So this can also help the rural children to get inspired, and apart from getting a knowledge from the industry, job from the industry. So the inspiration itself will be a great contribution for the rural economy. So there are quite a few policy supports government has given. So we also worked in almost 25 countries. So this is one country where I'm very proud that for sugar and ethanol government has given so much so far that no country has given this kind of incentive subsidies to any industry anywhere in the world that I can vouch for is. So then they are given subsidies, they are given interest subvention, they are given single window clearance, they also expedited the environment clearances. So there are so many things they have done. And also another most important thing is this is one government policy where investor from across the industry have come forward and believed the government and invested in ethanol. Today we have sugar companies investing heavily in this ethanol, liquor companies, ethanol producers, then we have pharma companies, IT companies, petrochemical companies. So we have never seen this kind of a support to any government policy by the industrialist. So basically these two things are taken care. But most important thing is that now it is our job to really come out with technologies and technical contributions so that this ethanol program can become sustainable. Otherwise we reach E10 or E20, we have say E22, then later on how do you make it sustainable? So this is, I personally believe that all technology, technical people, technology associations, companies, R&D centers, they all should come forward and support both government and industries so that this whole ethanol industry can become very sustainable. So basically today, there are very different, data and information keep coming every now and then. So when we started in 2018, the ethanol demand was I think 900 crore. So then, because that was calculated based on assumption that there will be a slowdown because of COVID in the petrol consumption, also because of introduction of EVs. So in my opinion, it has not really happened. It has not affected the petrol consumption. Now overall, we may end up about 1500 crore liter of ethanol. So our government strategy or policy, which they are not openly stated, basically they want to balance between sugar, crop and the grains. Because you have 34 to 35 million excess sugar, then our consumption is around 26 to 28 million. So we'll end up having 5 to 6 million excess. Out of 50% we could be able to export, because export also is not a reliable thing, because if there is a drought in Brazil, then you have higher prices of sugar. So if Brazil produces more sugar, then you will not have a good price for sugar. So on an average, in the next 5 years or 10 years, I would think that 4 to 5 million tons of sugar can be exported. It's the average. 1 year it could be 1 million, another year could be 3 million or 4 million. So there will be always going to be excess sugar in India, because ISMA has also recently told us that sugarcane acreage has gone up. It has gone up by 7 to 8%. So apart from the increase in the yield because of all of you. So the acreage also is going up, because whatever many companies, especially in Karnataka or UP, whatever ethanol they wanted to do from sugarcane, they crush more sugarcane. So the sugar production has remained there, and more ethanol is produced from the new cane crushing capacity. So if you convert this excess sugar, still you end up having 700 to 800 crore of ethanol. So we still need another 700 to 800 crore liter of ethanol. So that is why the government is promoting grain. At the same time, as per FCI data, published data, they have 5 million tons of rice, which is in excess of, you can say strategic reserve, plus here a lot of corn. So, you know, if you convert all those excess crops, then you will end up with 700-800 crore of liters from grain. So up to 20%, we have 10% coming from sugar industry, 10% from grain. So in my opinion, sugar industry should not see grain as a competition, grain ethanol. They should actually take advantage and start building, additional capex, additional sections of the grain. So because sugar industry will have a lot of advantages as compared to standalone grain to ethanol plant. One is your fixed cost is covered, and second, you may have some surplus bagasse which can be used during off season for grain ethanol. So these are the things, one should be very smart and start planning their capex for future. In Karnataka, already quite a few plants are adopting grain ethanol plant for off season. Like Ugar Sugar is one, Mailar Sugar, Sati Sugar, Shamnu Sugar. In north, Dalmia Sugar is there, Dampur, LS Sugar, Balrampur Chini. All of them have invested heavily in grain sections for the off season. So their numbers will be much better than the standalone grain to ethanol plant in terms of fuel cost. So this is one suggestion I would make. Of course, you have technologies for storing the syrup and BHB, so those will come. But the grain gives you much better profitability than storing BHB, storing sugar. Even if you calculate all the operating costs and enzyme costs and investment in terms of building a huge tanks. So grain will always give you, and most of the sugar companies have realized that they should always adopt grain to ethanol. This is one submission I would like to make. Then basically, sustainability of ethanol is a challenge. So for that, especially the sugar industry, which have done very well in development of the sugar technology, sugar machineries and efficiencies. So now I'm little disappointed. Please don't mind my frank discussion. So we try to promote newer technologies, innovations, pan-India basis. So many companies who are coming from other background, like pharmaceutical, petrochemical, they are very supportive of innovation. Like when we talk to a company in Gujarat, we are doing quite a few projects in Gujarat for many chemical companies and petrochemical companies. So they want to reduce the steam consumption or water consumption by adopting a newer technologies which are relevant in textile mills or pharma companies. So they are okay to adopt those things in distilleries. Whereas when you go to a liquor company or a sugar company, even the consultant, they always ask where these plants are operating on ethanol. So many tenders they ask for 3 performance certificates, so which will limit us to promote any new technology. Instead we say okay, we'll also play safe and we give a old technology. So if everyone asks for 3 certificates, then today we would not have the aeroplane. John Wright brothers would have said, hey, I don't have certificate, so I cannot fly. So this is one very important thing. I think the sugar technologists and consultants should realize that the challenges are much higher than the conservativeness. Because if you try to be conservative, safer, then sustainability of ethanol will be a big challenge. Of course, we have been very fortunate. So now we are building latest technology plants with very low OPEX. So in terms of steel, in terms of water, in terms of power, for many sugar companies all over India. So I think, I hope that this mindset will improve and we all will be able to improve the profitability. So secondly, for another few things for making the world ethanol sustainable is like we can diversify in application of ethanol. So ethanol can be thought of for aviation fuel, SAF. It can be also thought of making green chemicals. Like India Glycol is one of our customers. Initially they tried to build an ethanol plant for oil companies. Then later on they started manufacturing chemicals, green chemicals, and export to Europe. So they are building a huge plant, 500 kL plant, 300 is already up and running. So all of that ethanol is used for producing green chemicals, ethyl acetic acid, some glycols. So those are being exported to Europe and USA to replace the chemicals which are produced from natural gas. So this is also very important. So then similarly, we can build multi-feedstock plant. I think Nijalingappa Institute has done a lot of work on sweet sorghum. When the sweet sorghum was introduced about 2 decades ago, ethanol prices were very low. I think the ethanol prices were less than 27 rupees. Then grain of the sweet sorghum was not allowed to convert it into ethanol that time because there was no grain ethanol. So now we have an excellent opportunity. We can again start looking at sweet sorghum as an alternative feedstock for ethanol, where we can convert the juice. Also, we can convert the grains into ethanol. So then we can use the bagasse for fuel from the year. So I think we can make a very good profitable business, and we can pay handsomely to the farmers. So this is one possibility. Then of course products, you already explained that green chemicals. And another thing is we can also look at developing byproducts, especially from ash, even from the spent wash. Instead of burning in boiler, we can always do potash, because India imports a lot of potash, and potash is needed for farmers. Then for DDGS, we can have oil. We can separate oil from corn, and then we can convert it into biodiesel, or we can sell it. Then we can also look at protein, separation of protein, and make it human consumption protein. So there are quite a few opportunities where just instead of asking continuously the government for support, subsidies, price rise, we all at least can look at developing quite a few technologies to help the industry to make much more money than yesterday. So of course, Kandgave sir already touched upon efficiency improvement. Then we have to look at many other aspects in terms of steam, power, in terms of fermentation efficiency. So another major prevailing issue is the syrup quality. How to really manage the distillery when we are running on sugarcane syrup. So first of all, I would request that everyone should not look at this distillery, this is sugar mill. Now, when you produce ethanol from sugarcane, it has to be an integrated approach. You need to maintain sugar quality, sugar syrup quality in the boiling house, in terms of bacteria, in terms of sulfur, in terms of volatile acids. Then only the distillery man can give you ethanol. If you give him more volatile acid, he will give you more acid. So this is a very simple relationship. So a lot of companies in UP, in Karnataka, in I don't know about Tamil Nadu, but many other states, people have already realized that we are working very hard on improving the quality of the syrup. So whether you have burnt cane, you have delayed cane, or whether you have a matured cane, immature cane, end of the day you have to look at boiling house very carefully, milling, mill standardization and boiling house, try to maintain the sugar quality. So there is one study I think done in Sadish Sugar. They also claim that there is also improvement in the sugar production, because once you take care of the mill house and the boiling house, so bacteria will go away, and you can also get more sugar. So this is also another realization. So when we expand ethanol production, you are going to take more water in the factory. Also, when you grow more crops, you will have more water. So we have to be very sensitive of this fact that when you select a technology, you should be very, very low on the water. Especially for sugar industry, you have a lot of water coming from sugar cane. We did a project in Wave Industries in UP last year, where we polished the sugar condensate from the boiling house, and we use it during the season, and also off season we stored it in a big lagoon. Then we used 12 months this water. Not a single drop of water is taken from the ground or from the river on that project. So this can be done very easily for sugar industries. Then of course environment, apart from the liquid pollution and solid pollution, you can also look at your air pollution. Till today there is no complete solution for CO2 emission, because CO2, with so much of plants coming up, CO2 is in excess all over India. So CO2 can be used for making protein, or it can be used for growing algae. So there could be some new applications which will be developed for CO2. So otherwise, you will be ending up emitting a lot of CO2. So then also there is also another thing which one can do. That of course for sugar industry it is much easier because you have a lot of bagasse which can be used as a fuel for producing ethanol. But standalone plants, I have seen a lot of plants using 100 tons of coal to generate 100 kg of ethanol. It's really, it's better to shut down the plant. So instead we can use petrol, 100 kg petrol. So this is also to be avoided. So all the boiler companies now, they are very busy in developing technologies for using various biomass like briquettes, pellets, or mustard husk, soya husk. Even I am doing a project in Assam. So there we are going to use bamboo for using in boiler for generating the producing ethanol. So these are the things one should think. So and lastly, this whole policy is for self-reliance. So we are doing a lot of initiative to avoid using imported equipment, imported ingredient, imported material. So we started with the dryer. Dryer is to be imported from China after this war in Doklam. So we decided to manufacture ourselves. So now we have completely stopped this, and there are a lot of other components like instruments, molecular sieve. Today I was talking to Eureka, the one who is making a lot of flow meters. I told them, why don't you do make in India DCS? So instead of getting all the stuff directly inducted from China, so we can look at Indian. So I am willing to give you 5 orders. So I think everyone should think that way. So it will also create more job opportunities, business opportunities for Indian market, because the growth of this industry is exponential. It's really unprecedented. I think all along with the ethanol production, direct employment, it can also create a lot of indirect employment if you focus on the Make in India approach. So of course we have a detailed presentation with a lot of statistics, data, everything. So we can show you in the afternoon time. So for the time being, I would like to cut short my speech. So only thing, I have few suggestions for the government agencies. In every forum we are making these suggestions. One is that they can somehow ban the export of molasses or grain on a longer term basis, because there is no point in exporting molasses or grains than looking at buying a very high cost domestic rice or maize. So once for all, now since we have a lot of capacity built up in India, so there won't be any excess if they ban molasses or broken rice. So industry can consume and produce more and more ethanol. This is one suggestion. Similarly, DDGS price is very important for feasibility of the grain ethanol. Everyone knows it. So right now, quite a few cattle feed manufacturers are still importing soya cake from China. So when it is very cheap, so they import and they give very less price to DDGS. So this can be also looked at, imposing the CVDs on imported soya cake. So this will help the feasibility of the Indian ethanol industry. Then apart from that, we can always look at pricing formula. This is the time now everyone should ask for a formula for pricing of the ethanol. So right now it is more ad hoc basis. Somebody gives the costing from time to time, then the oil companies will increase. So we can have a fixed formula which includes fuel cost, engine cost, water cost, even the interest on the capex and the raw material cost. So instead of linking the whole ethanol price to international prices of crude and the dollar, so they can link it to our cost, because that is what is going to affect our costing, not the dollar price or the international crude price. So this is one, I think, demand Sista can take it forward. And finally, I would like to congratulate all of you for achieving more than 10% in the ethanol blending. So we have great future in ethanol. can not only help ethanol industry, it can actually help sugar industry, like what Mr. Nandakumar has told. So congratulations to all